Hello everyone, it's me Mark, and today I wanted to take some time to talk to you about something that's been on my mind for quite a while, and I know this might be a bit controversial, but school is actually good for you, and I'm about to explain to you why. And before you start typing me a long essay in the comments about how school is the worst thing you've ever experienced in your life, save your comments until you watch the end of the video and just hear me out. Okay? Let's go. The first point is that school, a lot of people say it doesn't prepare you for life, but if you really look at it, it really does. Because, for example, English class, that's probably the most important class in school. Like, a lot of people say English is pointless, that you don't need to learn stuff like where to put your apostrophes and your commas and punctuation and capitalization. They say that it's all useless and that you'll never use it in real life, but here's the thing. Imagine you want to apply for a job when you're an adult, right? And you type your resume out and it just looks like complete utter crap. Like it has so many spelling mistakes, and you send it to the person who's gonna hire you, and when they see it, they're not gonna hire you. They're just gonna throw your resume in the trash, and they're gonna ignore everything you send after that because gonna look like a freaking idiot because your resume is going to be full of spelling errors, and I don't think many reputable companies want to hire people who spell at a kindergarten level. I'm sorry if I started ranting. I just kind of had to vent about this. But yeah, as for the other subjects, like I'd say math is also it's mildly important. It's a bit subjective based on like what job you're gonna pick. And history, I'd say that's like the second most important because well, we learn history so that we learn from our ancestors' mistakes and we don't make those mistakes. I think it's safe to say that a lot of bad things in the world could be prevented if people just paid attention to history and didn't make the mistake everyone else did back then. And as for a couple other subjects like physical education, or PE as most of you may know it as, a lot of people just call it, what's the acronym for it? Pointless exercise? Yeah, let me tell you, how is it pointless doing jumping jacks, getting more fit, running, doing push-ups, getting stronger, just getting overall better at being like an athlete, a sportsman, just all of that. How, please explain to me, how is that worthless? How is that pointless exercise? What, is it because you just want to sit down and just play video games all day? Is that why it's pointless? Because you don't want to do it? Well, but here's the thing. It's just because you don't want to do something, it doesn't mean it's bad for you. If everyone thought that, then none of us would eat our vegetables. I know most of you are gonna say stuff like, "Oh, well, what about science, Mark? Is science useful for you?" And yeah, I must say that's probably like the most subjective one. Like, it is still good to know how the world around you works because, well, you freaking live in it. But yeah, I don't think it's too necessary to know stuff like electrons are negatively charged and protons are positively charged, but yeah, you get the gist. The next thing I want to say is that many people trash on school for giving them stress and anxiety and, well, you know, all those mental issues, and I must say, yeah, it is. Those things are a big problem. Anxiety and stress, those things aren't jokes. People really suffer from it. It's bad, but here's the thing. Most of the people who say that, how many of them do you think are stressed because it really is the school's fault? I know you might say most of them, but here, let me say this. Do you know how many kids I see at school, at my school at least, and they're the same kids who say that they're always stressed out, that they can't do their homework, that's bad for them. Those are the same kids who always screw off during class. They never listen to the teacher. They always smart mouth the teacher. They never listen. They never do work. And then they have and then they say that they're stressed out. And just why do you think that they're stressed out? They never do any of the work, and then they wonder why they have an F at the end of the year, and then they blame the school for it because they need someone to point the finger at. Because Lord forbid they take the blame. I'm getting angry again. Sorry. Now, another thing I want to say: homework. I know this is gonna be a big one. Homework. Well, I must say that some of it or I should say a lot of it, probably shouldn't be given. But here's the thing. Homework is practice for school at home. It's so you can master the subject and work on it at home and do a little bit. And I know lots of people say that they're stressed because they have lots of homework, but let's think of it like this. There are 24 hours in a day, 6 to 7 of which are spent at school. Now, let's be really generous here and say that you go to school for 7 hours, okay? So, 7 minus 24 is 17. And your homework takes like what? 1 to 2 hours to do. You have 17 hours in a day to do all that homework. It's editing mark right now, and I just want to say that, and something that I forgot when I was originally recording this is that a lot of people have stuff they gotta do, and they might not have that whole 17 hours to do all their schoolwork. So, yeah, I just keep that in mind. I'm sorry I forgot that in the original recording, and just keep it going. And you complain that you're stressed about it. Do you? How do you get stressed when when you have 17 hours to do it? Why do you need more than 17 hours to do it? It's 17 hours. That's most of the day. That's more time than what you spend at school. And you're telling me you don't have time to finish it? I mean, that's kind of absurd if you ask. Alright, so the next thing I want to do in this video is I'm going to go look at some YouTube comments on other channels of why school is bad, and I'm going to evaluate them and try and debunk them. Alright, here we go. Number 1. Mom says, it's because of that phone. Alright, and then this person wrote an entire essay, so I'm going to try and shorten it for you. No, it's not. School gives us stress and anxiety. When we go on our phones, it's to escape from that stress and anxiety. The reason why our grades drop is because we are disinterested in the school to the point where we just want to get over with it and move on. I hate when parents always taunt their children with the grades. Grades are merely just a number to show off to everyone, when in reality you spend hours upon hours studying, or hurting your mental state trying to spoon-feed information into your brain that you will likely forget because you had to cram on all that other info. Now, I'm not going to read the rest of it. I read most of it for you, but you get the general ideas of it. Now, I'm going to talk about the first point, where this person said that the reason they go on their phone is to escape stress and anxiety, and like, this is a point I made before in the video. Do you know how many kids I see in school playing on their phone and just screwing off while the teacher is talking? And then they just don't have a clue what's going on, and they beg everyone else for answers, and then they fail because no one wants to give them answers. I mean, how can you blame someone willingly themselves going on their phone in the middle of their class, thereby causing their own grades to drop because they didn't pay attention? How are you blaming that on the school? How is that the school's fault that you pulled out your phone in the middle of class and decide to give that more thought and attention than your education, which will lead to a better future for yourself? Because if you get a good education, you'll be able to get yourself a good job and make a living, and you can retire happy without having any stress when you get older. Alright, the next point this person makes in the comment is that grades are just merely a number to show off to everyone. And well, when you remember that everyone includes the people who are going to be hiring you, the people who are going to be accepting you into college, I think you should remember that it's a bit more important than just a number to show to your friends. Like a scoreboard in a video game, you're going to be showing that to the people hiring you, to the people accepting you into college. It's way more important than that. It has an effect on your real life, and a pretty big one at that. Alright, this next comment says, school says, be yourself. Also, the school says, the top student should be a role model. Well, actually, maybe they should be. Maybe you should take a page out of their book. You should why don't you want to become successful like them? Why don't you want to be like the successful people? Alright, this next comment says, school doesn't teach you how to talk about your emotions, they teach you how to suppress them. Since when was it school's responsibility to make you talk about your emotions? Also, second of all, how is it teaching you to suppress your emotions? You're not like a mercenary going into a fight. Maybe then you'd have to suppress your emotions, but how does school make you suppress your emotions? Alright, this next comment says, how do we get jobs? How do we pay taxes? How do we vote? How do we deal with financial problems? How do we deal with health problems? How do we raise children? School says, I don't know, but the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, first of all, how do you get jobs? My friend, have you ever seen a help wanted sign outside of a restaurant? Hey, can I get a job? I saw you had a help wanted sign outside your restaurant. Can I apply? Alright, next point this person makes is, how do we pay taxes? Well, my friend, all you gotta do is insert the disk into your computer, and there's literally easy to follow instructions on the screen telling you everything you have to do to file your taxes. If you need school to teach you to follow those simple instructions, I'm sorry to say this, but I think you have bigger problems to worry about. Next one says, how do we vote? Again, kind of like the how do you get a job? There will be You will get a thing in the mail asking you to vote for whatever thing you want to vote for. Our next one says, how do we deal with financial problems? Well, my friend, it really depends on what financial problems you have. If the IRS is up your ass about all your taxes that are due, maybe don't avoid your taxes. If your credit card company's up your ass, maybe don't go on shopping sprees and just spend money smartly. And, well, the other stuff I don't really know what to talk about. That might be out of my league, but yeah. How do we deal with health problems? This one is probably I'm not qualified for, so school, I don't know, but my mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, yeah, that one I can kind of agree on. Yeah, I can see, like I said before, science is a bit trivial. So, every teacher in my school, learning is fun. My maths teacher, we are here to learn, not to have fun. Well, my friend, you just beat your own point in your own comment. Next comment. Alright, this next comment says, everyone's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll remember its life believing that it is stupid. And it's a quote from Albert Einstein, which I've seen this freaking quote get quote to hell and back. It's like that whole, oh, we didn't know we were making memories, we are just having fun bull crap from Winnie the Pooh. And I must say that while it is true that you shouldn't judge someone for something they physically or literally can't do, it's not impossible to just memorize names and dates in history. It's not hard to memorize formulas in math. It's not that hard to just remember English. Like punctuation and all that stuff. Alright, and then the last comment we're going to do is that... Alright, now one last comment. Alright, this last comment that I'm going to be reading for today, because a lot of these comments are basically just copy-paste versions of each other with bad meme formats. Let me just read this last one. School just teaches me how to be depressed and how to hold back my actual feelings from people and how to slowly die inside knowing I'm useless and I will never actually do the things I love in life. Well, I think you have a bigger problem than school at this point. If you're dying inside and holding back your actual feelings from people, I think you have a bigger problem on your hands than school. And well, that's the last comment I'm going to be reading. Just know that I'm not hating on these people. I don't have a personal problem with these people because they wrote this kind of stuff. I'm just telling you that a lot of this stuff that a lot of people say about why school is bad is just complete utter crap if you really look into it and take more than 5 minutes to think about what they actually said. And a lot of people actually make decent points, but it's like trying to find diamonds in a pile of dog crap. You might find a couple, but you're more often than not just gonna find dog crap. And yeah, that's really all I have for today. Thank you for your time, and I hope this taught you something and changed your opinion. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear your